Did you see that new Terminator movie yet?
What about a song about World War II?
Just made me think of it. Made me think if you had time travel, you could go back and stop. You could stop atrocities. You could stop bad things from happening.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm sorry.
It could rival the longest sustained laugh that we've had on the show.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I haven't.
All right. Why didn't they call that thing T3 and then what was it? What's it called? Dark Fate? Is that what it's called? I haven't seen it yet.
I just need to know if we're talking about the Kinks anymore or not. So
We are.
Okay.
We are. Time travel, I would go back and give them their visa so they could tour the States.
Oh, is that what? Yeah. See, that's what you would change.
That's what I would change.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I would change. If you're both out at 1:15, Siegel
We're both
and I
out
will,
at 1:15.
Siegel will listen to my
It's
nonsense.
like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I have to do 2 more songs because I just can't not do 2 more.
You want
songs.
to do back? You want to go back to back then?
Yeah,
you want me to do
could
back
I
to
really?
back with
That's
you?
amazing.
Yeah, it's not amazing. I can do whatever the fuck we want.
Well, one thing I want to point out is the band Boy and Bear. Do you know Boy and Bear? Mm-mm. Boy and Bear is from Australia.
Okay, wait, you're saying
familiar.
that like it's Boy and Bear.
I was just going to say that. Yes, 3 words really. But
Boy and Bear.
But when they say
Yeah.
the Boy and Bear, they use the and sign. You
Okay.
know, if we're really going to get into
Is that an
it.
So it's not
ampersand?
the boy and
Ampersand,
bear.
yeah.
It's semantics.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, these guys are such a solid band, and they're so good. They're from Australia. They're on their 4th studio album.
Okay.
And I saw them at the Troubadour twice. One of their albums, their second album, Harlequin Dream, is like, I could listen to that on a loop, like, forever. It's just so good. And now they finally came out with another album called Suck on Light. And they haven't done an album. Oh, gosh, Harlequin Dream must be like 8 years old because this album, Suck on Light, they hadn't done an album in 4 years because the lead singer, David Hoskin, had a really serious disease. He still has the disease.
Did
but
he have Hoskins disease?
not that, but
Okay.
it's now, he can manage it now. But I have to tell you, it's really a fascinating story. It's a disease he has. It's called chronic dysbiosis.
What's that?
And it's very serious. But David Hosking is a young guy. They figured it out. Basically, his body is not able to make good bacteria or good.
Okay.
So basically, he has to have, and the band is calling it a poo roadie, meaning he has to have somebody go to the bathroom and then he has to take that material and put it inside himself.
What?
I know, because he has to have fresh bile.
I'd rather
Can
have a
you believe
tattoo
that?
on my face.
Wow.
And he's okay. He's living and it's okay. And you could see his videos
Wow.
online talking about it. It's a deadly serious disease, but he's managing it. But, literally they show like his poo roadie coming out of the bathroom with a container of, and then he has to take that
So what? Okay, so the poo is then
in
given
a
to
Tupperware
him.
container.
Okay,
Is
so
it
then
his
what
own- it's
does
his
he
own
do?
poo, though?
No, it's not his.
What
someone
does he
else's
do
poo?
with
He
the
can't
poo?
produce the right kind.
Okay, but how does he put it
So-
into his body?
This is really crazy, guys. This is a video, so I'm not making this up. He takes
smoothie?
it and he puts it in a blender with saline. And then it goes into bottles, and those bottles act like kind of like a douche, as it were, and they squirts it up inside of himself to get the fresh bile. And now he is alive. And Boy and Bear put out their 4th album, and it is a really good album. I mean, I'm not saying
And finally answering the question, does a boy and a bear shit in the woods?
that. No,
I was scared. I thought you were going to say he had to drink it.
Drink it.
which
Yes,
is
that's what I thought.
A butt douche, fine.
Yes.
I can do
in
a butt
way,
douche.
But-
you know what? This is going to make you
It's kind
guys.
of bringing it all back, really.
It's going to make you guys remember Boy and Bear, and that means they're going to sell more
sure.
albums.
For
Because
sure.
once you
We
hear
will
them,
never
you're
forget.
going to listen, man, because
All right.
these guys are really
Oh
good.
my gosh.
This is off their brand new album, Suck on Light, and it's called Suck on Light.
All right.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
He is, you, I think, especially Mike Siegel, you're going to love Boy and Bear. These
All right.
guys, I'm telling you.
Yeah, Mike
they're-
loves a butt douche.
You could have
so-
sold it to me without the story. Because really, that's all I'm thinking about, listening to that great music.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of that.
You know what? Sometimes.
So leave that out next time you suggest it to somebody.
Sometimes, it makes a good story and it's going to stick
It's a
in
great
your head.
story.
Just say he overcame health problems. And then we're good with it. That's called editing. That's comedy 101.
I want the story, Christine.
Chronic
Don't you let
dysbiosis.
someone
Let us Google
turn
it.
out your light.
At what
Don't
point-
let him snuff your light.
At what
Or suck
point do
your
you
light.
say, wait a minute, what disease do I have? Okay, and what do I have to do to stay alive? Oh, I'm just going to cash it in.
No, come on. That ain't
No,
right.
you
that
would
ain't
not
right.
cash
You
it
do
in.
what
I'm
you
good.
have to do.
You would do the butt douche.
Ugh.
Ah!
Want to give a shout out to listener Aaron Kahn. Aaron has put together the funniest moments of 2019.
I did hear that on Twitter.
And he's put it on Twitter. He's put it on, I think, maybe SoundCloud, maybe YouTube. But it's a lot of work that he puts into that, listening to all these.
It really is.
Finding the funny in this show
No
is
kidding.
it would be so difficult.
And in a couple of moments, he was very generous.
See, that reminds me of Chicago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you were there.
I was
You've been there for a year. What were you doing? First job in Chicago.
singing telegrams.
Would you costumes?
Yes. I had like a sort of a messenger outfit, but I also had a bag lady, a policeman.
It's not very PC to have the singing bag lady come in, right? Let's make fun of a homeless woman.
It was fun because a lot of people thought I actually had walked in off the street and was just being.
Well, then was it hard to get in sometimes if you were going down to a high rise?
Sometimes, yes. Yeah, so I would have to have someone from the party come and explain what the situation was. Yeah, but that just made it more fun for me. And then the policeman was very popular, but I had one party.
It? Forgive me. I know it's the hashtag Me Too era. Was it sexy policeman?
It was sexy policeman.
All
No,
right.
I will say it was sexy
right.
policeman. But
There you go.
there was one party where they complained because they had been told that I would arrive by helicopter.
But you didn't.
No.
All right.
I'd-
Why were they told that?
I'm pretty sure they made that up in their head and then just convinced themselves that I would show up in a helicopter. And,
No.
this was like a $60 telegram. Like,
Yeah.
at what point?
How much does it cost to rent a helicopter?
I think it's a lot more than 60,
Yeah.
maybe 65.
So you get a tip when you do these? What's an average tip back then?
Like $20.
$20 is good though.
Yeah, that was great.
Because it's 60, you've already made a third of that just in your tip.
Yeah.
How long do you sing for?
The entire thing was about 10 to 15 minutes. So it's not that long.
And was there like a song where you would slot like the person's name into that song?
Yeah. There was this canned tunes. Usually it's a happy birthday, but then sometimes it was a like a get well.
Okay.
There was one guy who was an FBI agent who had been shot in some sting, and so his colleagues sent him a get well, and we really should have thought about this beforehand. But in the middle of singing this get well song, I'm realizing that the song is just about like you're faking this illness so you don't have to go to work.
Great. The guy has a bullet in him.
Yeah. So that was awkward.
They leaned more into the jammy, kind of slow, dirgy.
I only want jamming live. If it's live, you can jam. I won't
they-
even know
they
that
do.
20 minutes has passed.
Yeah, they do, and they're good at it.
Unless it's prog rock, then I expect there to be jamming on the album. You know what I mean? I
Right.
expect them to be the prog rock bullshit, that noodling.
That's not prog at all. They're not going that fast. Sorry, come on now. That was very prog. Well, the guitar, no, yeah, but the drum certainly.
Chimes. I don't know what chimes do.
You just see them in a studio
Yeah.
with like 100 candles burning. You know what I mean? And just dim light and just them. Man,
pot.
weed smoke every fucking where, man. And I am not Bluesy Joe. I'm not that fucking dude. But there was something about the way they interpreted it for me. It completely worked.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Bluesy.
Bluesy who?
Bluesy Joe.
Oh, it's not me. I don't want to disparage this and say this is a bad album or a bad piece of work or whatever.
It just isn't what the first two albums were.
Right. It's not what I was expecting, and they embraced a certain side that they wanted to embrace, and that wasn't where I wanted to go, all.
As we know, there's probably someone out there that goes, oh, Amorica is my favorite Black Rose album.
Yeah, and rightfully so. You know, it's, as we know, whatever the fuck, it's
kick
art.
them right out of your pickup truck when they say it.
Fuck out of here, Bluesy Joe. This sounds like someone ordered up generic Black Crows. You can walk into any bar and hear any idiot play that song you just heard.
Yep.
The magic of his voice, the magic of Rich's guitar, the interplay, all of it, it just was missing on this album for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, that song sounds like a song Bluesy Joe would play.
Oh, fuck. That dude.
You walk into the bar, Bluesy Joe's there.
That fucking guy.
There's a cover and a 2-drink minimum, and you're already pissed off. Sonic Boom is so good.
That was their last great album, I think.
Monster is not good. It's not good.
What would Paul Stanley say about these albums?
Let me tell you something about Sonic Boom. Look, we went in the studio and we were firing on all cylinders. We had Tommy Thayer, Eric Singer, Gene Simmons, and Paul Stanley. We had a great title too, Sonic Boom. A lot of people said Paul, and I said what? And they say, Paul, why'd you name it Sonic Boom? I said, because I love saying the word Sonic. Supersonic. All right, look. Is Crazy Nights an underrated album?
Yes.
It's great, isn't it? Here's why they're dumb.
Creatures is better, but yeah.
Creatures, I don't know.
Revenge is really good.
I love Revenge.
You're a big Kiss Revenge fan, right, Keith?
Obviously, yeah.
Do you think the song on Kiss Revenge, the song Spit, do you think that was originally shit? Don't mean shit to me.
Yeah.
And then Paul Stanley said, let me tell you something, Gene. I think we'll get more airplay if you change that song to Spit. And then Gene said, okay.
To Split? That's probably what it is.
Cookie Puss. Okay. And now Joe Reynolds. Happy birthday, Joe Reynolds. Hold on. You got something to add to what I just said?
How does Paul Stanley address his phone? Who does he talk to?
Oh, you mean when he wants to ask it a question?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, Siri. Could you play something from Psycho Circus? Siri, who has the best Brussels sprouts?
A recipe?
Siri, I need a recipe for Brussels sprouts.
It's like somebody trying to sing like Gene Simmons trying to sing the song.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Now, Kiss would rock the shit out of this song if they covered it.
Oh, you know that we would. Mississippi Queen.
How do you spell Mississippi, Paul?
Mississippi. Queen. A lot of S's.
Crooked letter. You get away with that one. Crooked letter, I. So this is Hanson, and this is a great song. Kick it off from the beginning if you want, Pat, because that's where.
Of course.
Yeah. It's called Thinking About Something.
Oh, it's a great song. I almost picked this song, and I was like, this isn't going to fly.
From the Shout It Out album, 2010.
Yeah.
Easy, you sissies.
I'm sorry. Weird Al directed this video. It's a great video, too. Gets me in the mood. Not in a weird, in a great mood. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Get in a mood for sex.
Yeah, that's it. No, it's such a.
Let me get. You're a Zachary fan?
This is your go-to.
This
is your go-to.
I have a whole journal. I just draw them like middle school drawings.
This is your go-to sex song.
Yep, this is it.
It's just.
It's that cowbell. You got to keep him really. Go, Rose.
Mine's Going Down. That's my go-to song. The Springsteen song from Born in the USA.
Oh, God. Okay.
So from Porn in the USA. Okay, here we go.
That's what that red handkerchief means.
Okay.
So it's
yeah, that's from the movie Cruising, right? If you have the red handkerchief in the back pocket,
means you're a
then
Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
okay.
From the album Shout It Out.
Right.
And this is Hanson thinking about something.
Now here's did you buy just these songs you liked, or did you buy the albums?
I just bought the songs I like because I can't spend $400.
Sure you can.
No, I can, but I don't want to.
Just ask Pilar's permission.
Cracks me up the other night. She asked if she goes, I want to buy this thing. And she's asking me if she can buy it. I go, you can buy whatever you want.
All right.
She's like, well, I just want to make sure. I go, yeah. It's your money.
All right. So this is where.
So now we own a cheetah. It's in the backyard.
So dumb.
Crazy. What a waste of $5,000.
Thing just sprints across the yard 3 times a day. Do you know cheetahs can only sprint that fast twice a day?
Is that true?
Yeah.
So you gotta hope you come in contact with one
after
it's already done its 2.
That's why you always see them either running or they're lazing around in those trees because they're resting. No, it's true.
I believe you.
My first writing job was for a Disney Channel animal show. Mm-hmm. And so I have all this pointless animal knowledge stuck in my head that'll come out randomly.
Sometimes it's going to come in handy when your kid's doing a term paper.
Or a podcast about music.
That's right.
Talk about cheetahs.
First of all, we're doing yacht rock. I'm calling it yacht rocking. Just like the Judas Priest song. I want to go. I want to go. Yacht rocking. Oh, K-Tel compilations.
That opening of Just Remember I Love You, though, it's perfect. Just that the little strum and then when it all goes crazy.
I still love that song.
I do, too. It comes up in playlists.
I mean, I really love it. I think I've played that on here before, so that's why I didn't choose it.
Days get crazy and the nights get long. People are in for the evening. I jump in my guitar and I'm holding my guitar. My heart's beating.
I love my buddy Jim Bass. He's working pumping gas. He makes $2.50 for the hour.
Yep.
He's got rhythm in his hands as he's tapping on the cans. Sings rock and roll in the shower. It's great.
The lady is ooh, I love you. Is that one? Thank you, lady, for being
let me take a look at you now.
Okay, there you go.
You're there on the dance floor making me
want you some.
It came down between Cool Chains and Lady, and since I played Lady a couple times on this show.
Cool Change is good.
Cool Change is a great one.
What's the one I'm thinking of? Thank you, babe, for being a friend and always being my life.
I think you just wrote a song.
I need you.
Yeah.
You know that song?
Yeah.
And Reminiscing was there.
Oh, yeah. Dancing in the dark, walking in the park, and reminiscing. Oh, those guys are clean.
Yeah.
I like them.
Oh, yeah.
But, okay, here's the story about getting kicked off of The Nutty Professor, directed by Tom Shadyac, starring Eddie Murphy. So it's in the nightclub scene when Dave Chappelle is there and he's performing, and then him and Buddy Love are going to have words, and it's that scene. So at the time I was a tour guide at Universal Studios, and they were shooting this at Universal Studios in the soundstage at a nightclub setup. So we've been working in that same scene for a couple of days, and every day was the same. It would start out, and we would sit in the holding area for a couple of hours before we would go over. So it's like the third or fourth day, and they go, okay, everyone, business as usual. You're going to stay in the holding area, and then when we're ready to shoot the scene, we're all ready over there. We'll bring you all over. So the girl that was playing my date in the movie, she was also a tour guide at Universal Studios. So we were coupled up.
So you're a patron in the comedy club, and she's your date.
Yeah, we're a couple, and we were right at the front table, like right in front of the stage. So it's Friday when we're filming this, and it's also payday for the tour guides at Universal Studios. So we think we're just going to be sitting in the holding room this whole time. So I was like, why don't we go up and pick up our checks? So we're going to leave the holding area. I'm like, we have Universal Studio IDs. We can go anywhere. So that's what we do. We leave the holding area. We go up and, we're getting our checks. Everyone's like, why are you guys all dressed up? And we're like, oh, we're doing extra work on Nutty Professor. Oh, my God, that's so awesome. All that kind of stuff. We get back down to the holding area. It's empty.
Oh, no.
No one's there. Dude. And I was like, fuck, oh, no. So we beat over to the soundstage and we walk in. And people are livid. They're like the casting, like the guy that's wrangling us. He's like, where have you been? And I was like, well, we work as tour guides, so we went to pick up our checks. You can't leave the holding area.
You honestly told them what you did?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
What was I going to say? I don't know what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So I just said that. And I go, you haven't used this for like 4 hours every day. We just thought we had, a half hour to do this. He's like, no, we've been waiting for you. We've been holding the shot, blah, 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 blah. Just going on and on and on and berating us.
And you're in the front of the stage.
Yes.
For continuity, they can't lose you.
Unless they, so.
Well, they can.
They can. And they did.
Yeah.
But so they're not doing it. So there's the front table. It's a table of 4. So the other 2 people are there. And we walk up and we take our seats. And literally, my butt barely hits the chair, and Tom Shadyac yells, "Get out! Get out!" I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Get out!" And we're like, "Oh." So I'm like, so we get up and leave, and we're walking out. And then the casting wrangler who's been berating us is like, "Yeah, you guys are fired." And I was like, so wait, you held it all this time. You didn't replace us just so we could sit down and you could yell it out. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I'm really going to get in a lot of trouble for this. And my girlfriend's flying in this weekend, and this is going to be a long day now. And I literally said, you know what? Shut up. I said, because if we're fired, then we're done. He's like, yeah, but I need to tell you this. I go, no, we're done. I go, you don't get to continue to berate us. We're done.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, we're going to escort you. We have to get security to escort you off the lot. And I go, well, and I pulled out my idea. I go, I work at Universal Studios, so you don't have to escort me.
We're fine.
Yeah. And he's like, and then he was just dumbfounded.
Right. Because they're used to people who kowtow and go, I'm so sorry, please use me again.
I'm like,
and all that shit.
no, you guys fired us. We're done. Okay, we're leaving. But it was so funny. I'm like, they waited all this time. Why didn't they just take 2 extras that were in the back? Just, okay, put them in the front. Who cares? Because that's what they had to do anyway.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand the whole rigmarole of waiting or trying to find us if you weren't going to use us.
When you saw the final cut, I mean, what is seen in?
You just saw tops of it. I didn't see any. I didn't see any.
Which means
anyone.
It means
they
nothing.
Fucking,
it's not going to matter. Who cares?
Get out. Get out. Get out.
Wait, who? What?
Yeah.
No, you guys were waiting for us. We're very important.
Yeah, exactly.
Finally, you're here. Leave.
The guy who lives inside of Ozzy Osbourne wants him to hurt himself.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why he self-medicated for so long and stuff like that. And then, like I said, they turned him into the punchline in that Osbourne show when fucking Sharon hopped in.
My favorite thing on that Osbourne show is when he would be sitting at the kitchen counter coloring.
Yeah.
Because that's how he would that would be relaxing for him.
Yes.
I'm doing a little bit of coloring.
Right. And
Daddy's coloring his book.
No.
Give him his books to color.
Yeah. You know what you should
Jack.
say?
I don't hate it, but I'm not going to give it a reigning endorsement. I'm 2 for 4 on this album right now. I'm 2 for 4. I think you're 0. You may be like 1.
No, that first, again,
you're
that
1
first
for
song,
4.
the music was
you're
fucking
1 for
awesome.
4.
I didn't even mind the second one. The music kills.
Okay,
but
so
again,
we're 2 for 4 collectively.
He shows up, and it's just, and also this one is just a mess.
I like cats and I like dogs. It's just like.
But again, I'm just an ordinary man. Oh, are you?
I wear shirts and I wear pants.
So famous. Let me get this straight. Famous for 50 years. You're just an ordinary cat,
Mike,
man. That's how it works.
I'm going to make up a lyric right now, and then I want you to sing the next line, okay?
All right, sure.
I've been rich
and I've been poor.
This is Under the Graveyard.
Ooh.
So what do you think's going to happen? This is going to be similar to Monster Mash?
That's right. I was working in the lab late one night.
She's on the slab. Okay, you're ready. What is Under the Graveyard?
We have to do an Ozzy Osbourne Monster Mash. I will fucking love it.
So what do you think?
They did the mash, the Monster Mash.
It was a graveyard smash. Smash. All right, so. And then you and I decided that we
Well, you said we got to get out of here. I'm like, all right, let's go.
I looked at I'm like, oh, we got to get over to
I said, well, let's
to the Eddie Money thing.
And then you said, do we go talk to Sebastian Bach? I'm like, of course we do. Why do we not?
Because I said I have an in because one of Pilar's really great friends, Kristen Kelly, she was in Rocky Horror Picture Show with Joan Jett and Sebastian Bach on Broadway.
Yeah.
So I think he was Riff Raff. I think that's who Sebastian
was.
played.
Okay,
yeah, I think so.
Which is great.
So I'm like, so I kind of have that in. So we go over to him.
And well, you approach from his left, I approach from his right.
Right. We flank him.
Yeah, I go, because I did a loop. I went around.
Then I got down on my knees behind him and you pushed him over,
down.
he toppled. And then we were all on the floor and we chatted on the floor. But so I just said, so I talked to him first.
He's got to be 6'6".
He's really tall.
Yeah. And
I said, hey, I can't be in the room with you and not come over and meet you. And he's like, oh, thanks so much. And I was like, what did I forget? Oh, then I said, hey, a really good friend of mine, pretended like it was my friend, not my wife's, cut out the middle person. I said, a real good friend of mine, Kristen Kelly, was in Rocky Horror Picture Show with you. He's like, oh man, that's like 20 years ago. And she did tell me this story. So I asked him, I go, he's like, oh yeah, that's amazing. And I said, hey, she told me that if you had a good show that night, you would say that the show was Bach-tastic. I said, is that something you would say? He goes, I don't think so. I go,
No, he said not a chance.
not a chance. That's
Not
what
a
he said, not a
chance.
chance. And I said, not even 20 years ago? And he was like, Then I still have the programs under my arm.
Yep.
And he says, what do you got there? Some albums? Like,
He thought you were going to ask him to sign.
yeah. And he was obviously
he would have.
up for it.
Sure.
And so he
You idiot.
He says,
What an idiot.
He says, what do you got on your arm? Are those albums? And I say, nah, I'm not that guy.
Yeah. And I didn't hear it at first. And you told me after the fact, and I go, you gotta be fucking kidding me. With a straight face, you got that out.
Yep.
I can't believe you didn't just
I'm not
fucking
that
laugh all
guy.
over him. I'm not that guy.
So what do we got next? Okay, that was very in depth, Aaron. He set it up. We're ready to hit it out of the park with this thing.
So it looks like he kind of organized this a little bit, this list, in terms of here. Let me see here.
How long until we get to a fisting joke?
Right up there. That was from the Muppet episode.
I know. Yeah, got lost a listener because of that.
Yeah.
Bill Neitz sent me a very, very angry email.
He lost his
about
wife
that.
to a fisting accident, so.
I bet he still listens. Hi, Bill.
I thought you were going to say, I bet he still fists.
We've lost him again. Oh, by the way, I want to show you this, Kyle. On the Leif Garrett episode, I told him right on the episode, I said, who runs your Wikipedia page? He goes, I have no idea. I go, well, they got to remove that picture on your Wikipedia. He goes, why, isn't it good? I go, no. I said, you have a giant headband on. I go, and you're really fat in the picture. And he wasn't fat. Look at that. What do you think of that?
That's a horrible picture.
Why is that on his Wikipedia page? And he admitted that he doesn't really go on social media at all.
You know what would be better?
I mean, that's terrible.
A mugshot would be better than that.
A mugshot would be better than that. I don't know if he has a mugshot. He probably does, but that is terrible. He doesn't look like that at all.
No.
Oh my dear God. Yeah, that's terrible. Okay, I just thought I'd show you that. You got to listen in on my phone call with Leif Garrett today. Leif Garrett called me on the phone. Wanted to know if I wanted to go play volleyball. That's not true. Wanted me to edit something out of the upcoming episode.
Just some misinformation.
Just a misinformation thing, a tiny thing. Because he even said
like a slip of the
tongue. He goes, just take that out as long as you can keep everything else about the same subject. And then he said, if you can't, then just leave it all in. And then he said, and I'll call the guy's family and tell him that I said this. That's what he said.
Yeah. So
good guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. It wasn't anything super salacious. It was just like kind of innocuous.
No. And then and who got off the phone call first?
Oh, you did.
Because that phone call would have gone how long?
Oh, a long time.
An hour. I think if I would have said, why don't you come over to the house? He would have come over.
Yeah.
I think we're friends. What's next?
Doesn't like kidney beans.
Does not like kidney beans. Said he bought some by mistake. If I wanted to come over, I could get them.
We're not making this up.
We're not making this up at all. He said he thought they were black beans, and then when he got home, he found he bought kidney beans, and he doesn't know what to do with them. So,
you know what the first clue is?
So tomorrow I'll be making Leif Garrett chili.
You know what the first clue is? The beans are black.
Black beans are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kidney beans are not.
Are not. No.
They're hearty red.
Shaped like a kidney.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Do you like a kidney bean?
Only in like a chili, like as a bean variety. But I go black.
What about a 3-bean salad? What would be your 3 beans in that salad? I put a chickpea in there.
That's what I was going to say.
And that's not even a bean.
That's not a bean.
Why don't they call it a chick bean?
I do chickpea. I would go and probably a kidney bean and a black bean.
All right. Some people put a green bean in there.
Really?
Doesn't seem to go. I'm going to look up 3-bean salad and see what
That's good. I'm going to play his other thing.
Okay, go ahead. I'm going to look it up. All right. I have to go back to 3-bean salad now because I got a recipe. Listen to this now. Now, a chickpea is in it, but we forgot. There's another name for a chickpea.
R. Kelly? R. Winger?
I call it RP.
That's a better joke.
Garbanzo bean.
Oh, a garbanzo bean's also a chickpea?
Yes, it's the same thing.
Other day I made a 3-bean salad with a garbanzo bean and a chickpea.
Oh, it must have
so it was really a 2-bean salad, and the ratio was off.
Now, the other bean is the cannellini bean. It's a little white bean.
I don't like that kind of bean.
So cannellini bean, a kidney bean, and the garbanzo bean. Then it says you some red onion finely chopped.
Now we have a new review from D Jameson 666.
That quickly, huh? It happened that quickly. I hope when I go to the grocery store tomorrow, there's apples and oranges. There's nothing. Mm-hmm. Nothing in the grocery stores.
No.
Let me tell you something. You used to get some apples and some oranges.
What else? What have you been looking for at the grocery store? And have you had trouble finding anything to clean your hands or to wipe yourself? Or...
Let me tell you something. I can't find any hand sanitizer. No. Can't find any tissue papers.
Do you
paper towels?
Do you use Clorox, or is there another brand that you prefer?
You mean Clorox wipes?
Yeah.
Let me think. What else? What other brand could there be?
Oh, you have a Lysol. You have a
Lysol's good. What else? You're leading me somewhere.
I think Mr. Clean makes one. I was trying to get you to say Lysol.
Oh, okay. Lysol's good.
I think that Ernie is just an asshole.
He's a fucking dick. You wouldn't live with him. He's your worst college roommate. Like, you're down at housing the next day saying, I can't live with that guy for a whole semester. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but you have to live with him for a whole semester. We can get you another roommate next semester.
Look, my head's this way and his head's this way.
Yeah, I mean,
we're totally opposite.
We are not compatible at all in the 69 position. Almost midnight. All right. Keep going.
Everyone's like, this is the worst episode because those idiots keep interrupting songs. All right, here we go.
We don't have anything to do if we don't. It's from the movie Still Crazy. Mm-hmm. Recommended by the librarian. Mm-hmm. Would you like some candy and then to come in to the back room and watch Still Crazy?
Shut your fucking mouth. This is the goddamn library.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just recommending a movie.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to get a kid in the back
room.
Well,
we have books here.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you read a book?
Do you have the adaptation of Still Crazy in a book? Shh.
Read Jane Austen books.
I hate the library. What's next?
We're good at improv.
We did. We were not bad.